Dynamite download.
Dynamite download, your home for all positive coverage with all elite wrestling.
You guys, positive energy.
This reality, like, it is me.
Who let this guy in here?
This is what pro wrestling's supposed to feel like.
I'm saying I have a better record than Kenny Omega and Samoa Joe, and now I'm going to have to wrestle them.
I've never seen someone able to break down like wrestling like he does.
I said, Mariah May, she said, who?
Because I'm so driven, and I'm so moved to like what I want to do.
The versus Brian Keith match.
It's awesome. It's so cool. You got like these creepy ass dudes.
Oldest ride, longest line.
I was like deep diving into like cults.
My real story does connect with a lot of people.
I never say never about anything.
Yeah. Back to do an interview with those guys. You know why? Because they spread positivity about AEW.
Welcome to Dynamite Download.
Woo! Welcome to Dynamite Download. I am the host with the most tonight. They gave me the keys to the studio. I am Mindrunner, and your eyes do not deceive you. SBD and Crayfish are on a super secret DDL marketing assignment. Great things are in the works for Dynamite Download. But I had to go to two members of my A-team, of my squad, to come co-host with me tonight. First, he is one of the most positive wrestling fans out there, and he is a general in the Thunder Army. I am talking about my good buddy, Brent Ross. Salute.
Yo.
Excellent. Glad to have you here. Love the fact that you're with us tonight, and I do love the beard. It's growing out a little bit. I think that's pretty cool. Nice Thanks. And stylish. And my co-hostess with the mostest, she was my tag team partner when we were interviewing La Mira Mira, who I think she's going by La Jefa. Could her evil, villainous ways have influenced Thunder Rosa turning on Izzy Moreno, or was it the chicken finger tacos? Probably the chicken finger tacos. But I'm talking about everybody's favorite heel in the internet wrestling community. I'm talking about Miss Courtney Holland. Hello, Scully.
Hey, what's up, Mulder? What's up, Britt? Thank you so much for inviting me on the show tonight. This should be a fun one, guys.
It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to have a lot of fun, and we're going to talk about a Dynamite that I had a lot of fun with, and I'd like to know your thoughts, but this is a Dynamite that once again gave me some of the feels of when Dynamite was first coming around. I mean, I enjoyed every match, and I feel like we're getting back to a place where AEW is fun. Brent, let me ask you first, what did you think of last night's Dynamite?
I'm going to really have to agree with you there. I think I did feel that old school feeling. I was thinking about it. I have not missed one Dynamite since they started. I've seen them all. So I do feel that they are going in that direction. And I feel like they're really paying attention to the storylines. I think we're really progressing to, the next pay-per-view coming up. I think in the past, sometimes you wouldn't even know all the matches yet, and I think we got a good lot of the matches already scheduled, and I think the whole Dynamite was based on what we're going to see at Revolution, so I think they're doing a great job.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree with you more. Courtney, you really were into the first match of the night. What did you think of the Dynamite overall?
The Dynamite overall with us all was probably with my rating scale, I'd give it a 6.
Okay. Out of
10. So
okay. All good. Any particular why the 6 and not a 10? What could have got it to 10 for you?
Second women's match on Dynamite.
Yeah, that is interesting because the women's division, we've been getting secondary women, like more than one women's match off and on recently, but yeah, it would have been nice to have a second match, not just a segment. But that's something for us to talk about. Is it time for us to get women's tag team belts? What do you think, Courtney?
it's time for the women to be showcased more than what they are.
Mm-hmm.
Put it that way, okay? And also, I do think it would spice things up. I know we got tag titles and trios, but it would be nice to have like another women's belt. Like, if you don't make the tag titles, maybe a women's IC title.
Yeah.
Make a third secondary belt if you have to. Like, because these women, I care a lot about women's wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
I can tell. So
I think we all do.
I want all the girls at AEW to shine. Not only the ones coming in like Deonna Purrazzo, but the ones that have been there, like the Night Roses, like Abaddon, the Zombies
Yes.
of. So just name a few.
Yeah, it's interesting too because those of you, I don't know if either one of you watch Ring of Honor much, but it's almost like the Ring of Honor women's division is getting so much more focus. I mean, Athena pretty much had been almost carrying Ring of Honor on her back, and now she's in this tremendous feud with Nyla Rose, and Nyla is getting to be the Nyla we see on Twitter or X, that we've wanted in AEW. Like this, I guess tonight she put Athena through a table, then grabbed an orange and bit in an unpeeled orange as she walked away. I mean, that is such a Nyla thing to you. Brent, do you watch Ring of Honor, or you've been paying attention to it?
No. I mean, I do follow up on what's going on, so I do totally agree with Nyla Rose. She's on fire. And geez, I love Lady Frost.
Yes,
she is amazing. And Athena. I mean, I really would like them to be on the main roster. I really think they should take Rampage and make it an all-women show.
Interesting. That would be an interesting thing. And you know what? I would be there for it. I would tune in. I wonder if we get more eyes on that. What do you think, Courtney? Rampage for the women's show?
Why not? The women deserve their dues too. We're always giving the men their flowers, and I see a lack of giving women their flowers while they're still here with us, and putting off awesome matches.
Yeah. And they're doing a women's TV title tournament in Ring of Honor. And my understanding, one of my favorite, I mean, Lady Frost is great. Nyla Abaddon is in the tournament, but I heard that Queen Aminata got her first win in the Ring of Honor tournament. She's advancing. She also had a really cool interview with Renee Paquette. So I don't know if she's 100%. She hasn't gotten the graphic yet, but she is signed with AEW. And I'd love to see Queen Aminata really get a push in AEW. I'd love to see her advance. But I do want to, let's talk about last night's Dynamite, even though, it probably would have been nice to have some more women's matches. But Courtney, what match do you want to talk about first that really, really spoke to you?
How about the Moxley match?
Absolutely. The John Moxley, Dax Harwood. They were each other's Valentine last night. What were your thoughts on this Valentine's match?
Oh man, this match was actually a banger. It was really, really good. Kept me entranced in what was going on. I really like that Dax is getting his shine as a singles competitor.
Mm-hmm.
And I think if you're in a tag team for so many years and so to go off and do a singles competitor thing, that'll just open your eyes to the wrestling business even more as a solo act.
Yeah. And those were the Moxley and Dax are notoriously two of the hardest hitters I think that AEW's got. When we asked both Colton Gunn and Lance Archer, those are names that come up. I mean, Dax, he's called Dax the Axe for a reason. And I felt like those two were brutal. And the whole the exchange of kisses early on was such a great moment. You know, Moxley getting up on the turnbuckle and giving him a smooch, and then Dax grabbing him and smooching him, and then they just beat the hell out of each other. What do you think, Brent? What was your thoughts on the match and what it's setting up?
Oh, it was a great match. I totally agree with Courtney there with Dax. You know, Dax reminds me of like, you know, an Arn Anderson mixed with Bret Hart. I mean, he's so solid in the ring, and you know, his stuff looks so good, and he's just so fun to watch. So yeah, it was a banger. I'm trying to remember. I'm pretty sure this was the match. Was it Moxley that did that suplex to Dax, and then they fell
off out the yeah. That
what
was
a bump!
Ooh,
wow,
scary.
Yeah, it really was. But yeah,
I mean, it's almost like wrestling is dangerous. You know,
yeah.
You know, it's almost like wrestling could be dangerous. Anything can happen. It's certainly not just one person being dangerous in the ring. Well, we'll get to that later. But yeah, I like your description of Dax as part Bret Hart, part Arn Anderson. That's a great description of Dax, because he does kind of strike me as that kind of person, and I am intrigued. You know, obviously, I don't think anything's really going to happen to Cash with his legal thing. I think he'll probably just pay a fine and be done. He seems to be cooperating. But in the off chance that Dax has to go solo for a while, it would be interesting to see Dax go after, you know, the Breakfast Continental Belt or something. You know, that would be an interesting, you know, maybe go get some orange juice, you know, at the Breakfast Nook or something like that. So that would be pretty cool. But yeah, and Brent and Courtney, yeah, I'll go Brent and then Courtney first. What do you think about FTR versus the BCC? Are you excited about this, or is this do you think this is a good feud that's developing?
It is a good feud developing, and if memory serves me correct, I think we've seen this before. I'm not really sure, but it's gonna be a hard hitting match, because I mean, FTR, you got Dax there, the chopper of the act thing, and you got Moxley over here that'll bite your ass and spit it out. You know what I mean? So it should be a good match.
Right? You think so?
Oh yeah, I mean, geez, you got all those guys. They're all probably like, maybe you could consider them the best. You know, I mean, geez, Bryan Danielson. Oh, Bryan Danielson's not going to be in it. He's taking on Eddie Kingston. That's right.
He's lurking around though. You know, he's lurking around.
Yeah, but you know, Claudio and Dax with their sharpshooters. You know, oh geez, I mean, the match is going to be great.
Yeah. Do you think what? I mean, granted, they right now it's just. Do you think this might lead to a possible like double dog collar match up there with the FTR Briscoe level? I mean, if you think about it, these four men, you got the Swiss Superman, you got Moxley, and you got Cash and Dax. I mean, that's gonna be an intense battle, and it's something I'm very hyped for.
I think that's a good point. I think we'll probably see another match, and you know, they might do you know, a final with a dog collar or some kind of stipulation. But I could see that definitely happening, and it'll be just crazy.
And it'll be crazy carnage, and I think we're all there for it. Brent, what was a match you that really you were excited for? We could talk about Mox and Dax all night long, but what was another match from last night that you really enjoyed?
I mean, I was really impressed with Daniel Garcia versus Copeland. I just think that, geez, Daniel Garcia is just like really showcasing, I would say, the last couple months, just what he's all about. And I think the crowd is seeing it too. Yeah. I mean, that's so over. You know, I always thought it was a bad move, him going into the Jericho Appreciation Society at first, because I just thought he was going to kind of get lost in the shuffle there, but he made it his own. He, and now, he got the dance going on. I think he's coming a long way just talking with his promos. He's great in the ring. I mean, I think he's like so good. So, he's just getting better, and I think the fans are seeing that. And I was surprised with the split crowd, especially with Copeland. Everyone loves Copeland, and it sounded like the crowd was half and half. And then I just thought the match was really, really good. I think overall, I think Daniel Garcia, just on his way. It'd be nice for him to go maybe after the TNT title.
And I wonder if they're setting that up. Having him in this mix with
that makes sense.
I almost said Edge, having him in this mix with everything, but that could be if depending on what happens in Revolution,
sure,
that could be Daniel Garcia's next move, and he definitely feels like they're giving him a push. And one of the things I wanted to point out too is it really, I think that he was known in the indies, and when he came in, he was known as this great technical just wrestler, this wrestler. That was the whole gimmick. Was when he turned and joined the Jericho Appreciation Society, everyone wanted him to say, no, you're a wrestler, you're not a sports entertainer. And so he did that for a while. But see, now the Daniel Garcia we have, I think, is the best of both of those. Totally. You know what I mean? And it almost feels like that journey he went with Jericho, kind of now we've brought him both. He's like half Jericho, not really half Jericho, but he's got that piece he got from Jericho, the piece he got from Danielson, and now he's this wrestler, sports entertainer. And I think that's great that they've done that. Courtney, what were your thoughts? Or what are your thoughts on Daniel Garcia in general?
Well, my thoughts on Daniel Garcia is I know he's a great technical wrestler. The dancing, you can do this all night if you want to, guys.
Yeah.
Woo! But I'm sorry, Daniel. I want the dancing gone.
Oh no, you want the pro wrestler? Okay.
I'm thinking I'm trying to take you more serious as a wrestler. You know what I'm saying? But if you like to dance, keep it. You don't have to listen to me. What do what I mean? But getting involved with. Sorry, I can't call this man Adam Copeland. That's just
Edge.
Edge. I'm going with Edge, but getting involved with Edge, it's and as having Edge there as a veteran that has over 20 years experience, he's gonna do nothing but grow exponentially. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
So
I think so. Now, I'm trying to pull it up, but we can also talk a little bit about the aftermath of this match, which both involved, Daniel Garcia got a little bit of it, but definitely the patriarchy made their presence known. And it is official. I don't know. I was looking for it, but I'll see if I can find it later. But apparently, Mama Wayne is now on the AEW roster.
Oh yeah.
And she came out, of course, with her turtleneck, and she's definitely being making her presence known. And we've got the patriarch himself just gloating, but he almost got his because Edge popped up. He almost got him, but then she came in with the low blow. So I'm wondering what's going to happen. What's going to happen with that whole mess? I like. By the way, shout out to Scoot. The Scoot is in the house.
Yeah.
Final match for Resolution. Dance off between Garcia and Prince Nana. Ooh.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
I have to, on that note, I have to go with royalty on that one. I have to go with Swerve when you'll drive. My good friend Prince Nana would be the champion of that whole thing. Absolutely. I would like to also talk a little bit about the clash between the Perpetual Smile and Resting Witch Face. I think this was a highlight for me in many ways. I think we've really seen Willow grow so much more comfortable with who she is. I'm really compelled with the whole dynamic with her Stokely and Statlander. I think that's really enhancing her character. I think we've got more things going on. This could open a door too for women's tag titles down the line, because the cohesion between Statlander and Willow, they're really looking good as a team. So I'm wondering if that's setting up, because you've got this natural 2-on-2 with Statlander and Willow versus Resting Witchface and Julia Hart. I think that both wrestlers looked great. I feel like they really showed up for work, and those are two that are really elevating the women's division. I haven't always been a Sky Blue fan. I sometimes feel like she was kind of pushed a little too early, but again, opinions. But you can't hate Willow. Like, you can't not just see Willow and just smile. And not just that, but her athletic ability too. The Willow pounce is great. She's great at selling the expressions in the ring. I thought this, even though this was the only women's match, I felt like it really elevated the women's division. I'm excited to see where this whole thing plays out. We'll go to Courtney. What were your thoughts? And then Brent.
Well, Resting Witchface, I'm a fan of hers. Sorry, not sorry. But I always loved Willow ever since she was in the Indies. That's where I followed her from. Hence, that's why they call me the Queen of the Indies. But
you're the queen of many things, but we'll stick with Indies.
Hey, cool. But Willow is a great talent. Being with Statlander, or Snacklander as you fellas call her.
Snacklander.
She's just fun, and Statlander and Willow are gonna make a great team. And hey, why not let them have the first title run? Why not? That'd be interesting, wouldn't it, fellas?
It would, except I always I like titles better when a heel has them, because the chase to me is so much more. It would be cool if they were in the finals, but then the Instagram Witches beat them for it, or Renegade Twins, or some other team, and then that led to what the next pay-per-view where they won them or something like that. But yeah, I like that. Brent, what were your thoughts?
Well, I'm kind of afraid. I mean, I thought the match was great. I think they both did a great job. I'm kind of afraid about this teaming up with Willow and Statlander. I kind of see it going. It'd be cool if they were going after like a tag team title, if they were going to introduce those for the women. But I kind of feel like eventually the Statlander is going to go heel and go. And yeah, because I think with Stokely, I mean, look at that match. I mean, the way it ended, those were heel tactics on Stokely's part.
Yes.
For the win, which is surprising. You would think that Sky Blue would have pulled something that off with Julia Hart. I was kind of sad that they took the TBS title off of Statlander. She's one of my favorites, especially a big win beating Jade twice in a row. I feel like they kind of dropped the ball on that, but I mean, I do like Julia with the title. I think it's cool. Hopefully she has a match at Revolution, because I don't think they have announced anything yet. But I kind of feel that there's going to be a cut. They're coming together now, Statlander and Willow. I kind of think that, though, Stokely's going to pull them apart. Statlander is going to go heel, which I don't like. But that's what I just think, because I don't think you can make Willow heel. She's definitely going to be the face there.
They dipped their toe in trying to make Willow heel with the mist, and it was almost like she smiled through it. It was almost like she was too. She even played it out like she came out with the one eye, and she was kind of, and then she just kind of like smiled through it, and so she was fine. Be interesting to see a heel Snacklander. And I think what'll probably happen is they'll probably build to a tag match for Revolution between them. And then Stokely will probably cause some kind of rift where Statlander thinks that Willow did something and Willow didn't, and then it turns into some kind of thing. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what they go with that. But I hope instead they decide to do the boop.
I see Scott's message there. The boop.
Is that a boop?
Boop.
I miss the boop too, Scott.
Here we go.
Scoots, I'm sorry. Scoots. Sorry, Scoots.
So we'll see. We'll see what happens. And Courtney, you had it on the back channel there that Julia is injured.
Yes, sir.
Ooh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, did not know that. Thank you for the hot scoop there.
Yeah.
So that might factor in the plans for Revolution or what might happen. So very cool, very cool. Courtney, is there another match that you would like to talk about from last night? Or the segment? Do you want to talk about the main title with Samoa Joe?
Here, let's go with the Samoan.
All right. So what are first of all? Let me ask you, Courtney. What are your thoughts as Samoa Joe as champion? And as you say that, it's getting hot in here.
Okay.
I'm just gonna put this on for a little bit. But go ahead. What are your thoughts on Samoa Joe's AEW champion?
I love Samoa Joe, okay? I've been a fan of him since he was started out in NXT, so I followed his career. And it's just amazing to see what this man can do.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't even need the title, and he'll still beat your ass. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
it's gonna be good. It's gonna be a hard match for Hangman. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
Yep.
The one that can actually hang with Samoa Joe is Swerve. See what I did there?
I like what you did. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
If Joe's ready to give up the title, I would like to see the first African American man, Swerve, get it, please, and thank you, with a cherry on top.
All right, love it. Brent, what did you think of this segment? Joe comes out first, laying down a Joe promo, and then Swerve, and then Hanger. What were your thoughts on that segment?
No, I thought it was great. I love, especially last week. I love heel Hangman. Oh my gosh,
Desperado.
Oh man, with that mustache and
yes.
His it looked like he's getting the mullet going, looking like Magnum TA.
Yeah,
yes. I think
Hangman
it's great. And Joe's just great on the mic. I mean, he's a ring general. I mean, I love him as champ. I love what I kind of feel like this was supposed. He probably wasn't supposed to have the title at this point. I think. Who am I thinking of? MJF was going to take on. Why can't I think of his name now?
Adam Cole, or
Adam Cole.
Yeah.
So, but I think Joe's doing a great job, and I think they need to put the title on Swerve. I mean, he's killing it. I feel like it's the time. I think sometimes AEW has a hard time of seeing when they should act on something, and I think this is right in front of their face. I mean, I think if they don't do it at this pay-per-view, they need to do it really soon.
Yeah, but or is this going to be a Swerve finish the story? Are they going to throw it? Yeah. Are we? Is someone going to throw a rubber chicken in like with Cody? I'm thinking about this. I'm with you. Like the fan in me wants Swerve to win right now. Like wants at Revolution, wants Swerve to get the title and let's go. The booker in me though says not yet because you got to tease and I think part of the reason this is a 3-way and not face to face is to in a way protect Swerve not getting the title this Revolution. I think what they're setting up is I think Samoa's going to retain. Joe's going to retain. This is going to make Hangman just lose his mind and complete his heel turn. And but Swerve's still going to come up whether or not he takes the pin or not. Swerve's still going to walk away and he's going to be able to say, "You couldn't beat me one-on-one." And so he's got that so that he can hold over Samoa Joe. And then whether at Double or Nothing or whatever, or maybe at All Out or even All In at Wembley, you could have that final moment where Swerve finally gets the title and makes history. And that moment needs to be huge and special. And I almost feel like it's too soon to do it now, but anything could happen. I just want it like I just want to see Joe hold it a little bit longer, build another feud, and then have that one-on-one Swerve versus Joe, and then he beats him one-on-one straight up.
So
I think that sounds great, really. Yeah.
I'm hearing mine say is when Swerve wins, we want it to be really special for Swerve.
Yes.
So let's hope we get that, because
and that's the thing too, is if let's say that Swerve does win at Revolution, like how special would it be in a 3-way? I almost feel like beating Joe one-on-one clean would make it so much more glorious. And that's why I don't think he's going to get it now, but I think he's going to get it down the line. But I'm excited. Tony, TK's got, who knows what TK's thinking about it. And I like this idea, Scoot. We need a Desperados faction of Hangman, Bandito, and Brian Keith.
Oh, yes.
That would be tremendous. And put them against the Bang Bang Gang. I think that would be awesome.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to take a quick break because I have a certain hot take I want to share with everybody. Spoilers for the Rampage. We don't talk about spoilers for matches. We're not going to talk about spoilers. But apparently when they were filming Rampage last night, during the Sammy Guevara Jeff Hardy match, there was a injury where Sammy was doing a 450 and his knee hit Jeff Hardy. It was all over Twitter. There's all kinds of different takes on it, and there's a lot of people coming for Sammy's head, calling him a botch master, calling him the worst. He's so unsafe, he needs to quit the business. And so here is Mind Runner, moi, with this week's hot take. Is Sammy Guevara becoming too unsafe to work with? Is he AEW's answer to Nia Jax? It's time for another hot take. Sammy Guevara has a reputation for being quite the daredevil. By his own admission, he's crazy. But he also has had some controversial reputations, both backstage and around the wrestling community. Love him or hate him, though, Sammy always is ready to put on a show. But due to some recent Rampage spoilers of the match between Sammy Guevara and another daredevil, Jeff Hardy, Sammy has come under fire by the dirt sheets, claiming that he has become unsafe to work with due to a injury in a mishap with move between Jeff Hardy and Sammy Guevara. Do you know what is dangerous? Wrestling is dangerous. Do we want to condemn Penta for Dante Martin's broken leg? Did you see when everybody was upset with Willow Nightingale because of a mishap with putting Anna Jay through a table? Here's the thing. Wrestling is a dangerous sport. You know what you don't notice? What you don't hear about are all of the botches that didn't happen, all of the injuries that didn't take place. How many times are these people doing these crazy moves and they don't end in an injury? That's because it's a dangerous sport. You know what also is a dangerous sport? Hockey, football, even basketball is dangerous. People break their arms all the time. It's a miracle that these professionals don't injure themselves more. Are we going to call the floor dangerous because Adam Cole broke his leg jumping down onto it. Stuff happens. You got to step back. You can't pin a accident in the ring on Sammy. And if we're going to start pointing fingers at who's dangerous and who's not safe, then we might as well just shut wrestling down completely. Is that what we want? I didn't think so. What are your thoughts? Do you think Sammy's dangerous, or do you think this is getting blown way out of proportion? Let us know in the comments below. And this has been my hot take. Quite the hot take there from the Mind Runner Joe there. Brent, your thoughts? What do you think? Do you think Sammy's unsafe, or do you think this is just kind of comes with the business?
Yeah, I totally agree with you on that. Stuff happens. It was an accident. He didn't mean to hurt Jeff. And how many times has he done that move? That's like the first time I've heard he hurt somebody. I've actually met Sammy Guevara. He's a great guy. Really nice. I think he's great in the ring, and like you said, people are going to get hurt. It happens, and unfortunately, it just, that's, what it is. So yeah, I don't think Sammy should be getting, for some reason, people like to just beat Sammy up all the time, no matter what. So I kind of feel bad for him.
I do too. I remember when he wrestled Bryan Danielson at Norfolk, and Sammy was supposed to be the heel and Danielson was supposed to be the face. But our whole section was like screaming for Sammy, even to a point where a couple of times Danielson looked over like, what? Like, why are you guys cheering for Sammy? But yeah, I mean, Sammy the guy, I mean, like even before he got to AEW, he's so cool with his fans, and he's an inspiration. Like he talks about when he first started wrestling, he'd have nobody at his merch table, and now he's up there. And I think some of the stupid stuff he did when he was younger, he's apologized for. He's a different person. He's a father now, and every time he doesn't let the haters bring him down. He's still, I actually like hearing people chant Sammy sucks when he's coming to the ring, because I know they're gonna shut up when he starts doing his awesome moves. If anything, I hope it fuels him to do more. But you can't deny this guy's a talent, and he's an entertainer. Courtney, your thoughts? Do you think that Sammy should retire from the business? Is he dangerous?
No, Sammy is not dangerous at all. As you know, I'm close with Top Bird Squishy, and she says Sammy, she's had some messages sent to her from Sammy, just oozing out positivity. So no, if you want somebody out of the wrestling biz, then go watch what Ridge Holland does, okay? And we're just putting that out there.
Okay, all right. Well, throwing a little shade at Ridge Holland. Okay, we'll take that. But yeah, I think it is. Injuries do happen. I certainly don't think it was on purpose. And we're talking about Jeff Hardy. I don't think that was the worst injury Jeff Hardy's ever had. Reports even, I think people were concerned about a concussion. I think the reports are saying he just got a broken nose. But still, the things that Jeff Hardy has done, I think the dude can probably take it. I want to talk about just a couple more matches, and then I want us to talk about, we've already kind of touched on the Revolution card. I did want to bring up the Matthew and Nicholas Jackson. They graced us with their presence. They were taking some young lions under their wing, as in Top Flight, and were giving them a little bit of an exercise, a little show. Courtney, first, what are your thoughts on the EVPs in this current incarnation, and their quest for going for the tag titles against Sting and Darby?
Well, I'm kind of loving the old bucks.
Yeah, not so young. I see what you did there.
I'm here for it. The white suit with the bloodstains on it. just a chef's kiss heel move. And people told me years ago that they would never go heel. Excuse me. I said they would, and they did, and they are. So I'm here for it. And what they are teaching, top flight, it just blows my mind. What the learning tree they're learning under, if that makes sense.
Absolutely, yeah. They're gracious with their knowledge, imparting their wisdom. The EVPs are taking. They could just sit back in the office, but they're actually getting out there and showing these young lions how to wrestle. And yeah, absolutely. They're blessed to be under Matthew and Nicholas's guidance. Yeah. Brent, are you enjoying this version of the not so young Bucks, the old Bucks, or do you think they were better as the Danglies, or do you think this is the best version?
I think this was the way to go with them. I think they were kind of cooling down as faces. I think I think this is a great direction for them to go. I think they're really good at it. I think they really are making people hate them. So one thing I noticed that what do you guys feel about when Darby came out and mentioned Cody?
Yeah, that was interesting. Do you think that was a little bit of a shoot, or do you think that Darby, they're all kind of playing the same play? Because one thing that the Bucks have always noticed that they do a really good job of is taking the hate online and taking a lot of their haters and using that in their stuff. And to me, I almost feel like that's what they're doing with this. Or do you feel like they're actually do you feel like this is that was a little bit of a shoot from Darby?
I think they want you to think it's a shoot, like you basically just said, where they're bringing it in, where they want you to think, oh, are they, is this real, or is it, do they, I don't know, So I kind of think that it's purposely done. I don't know if TK would have let that go without his approval. I mean, I could be wrong, but if either way, we're guessing, so we're talking about it. So I think it's a good thing,
I think so too. I'm loving I'm loving their whole vibe, and I'm loving their whole EVP. It's like their Ruckus made kind of like a Succession kind of theme song for them. Like they're coming in as the EVPs, and it's to me, I'm real, and like Courtney pointed out, the blood on they're still wrestling in those blood-stained obnoxious suits. And I like the dynamic between Matthew and Nicholas, where Matthew's he's like, wow, these boys are really good. And he's almost trying to be the good cop, and then Nicholas is the bad cop. We also, we have our own EVPs at Dynamite Download, and sometimes they show up. You never know when they're watching. And speaking of our own,
what's up, everybody?
EVPs, look who's in the house.
SPD has arrived. Hot off the press.
SPD. What's going on, buddy?
EVP time, so I'll show up when I want, right?
Absolutely.
No fining. I'm just kidding.
No fines. Yeah, no fines. No fines around here. They were behaving themselves, SPD. They did not commit any atrocities. They were talking a lot of praises here. Although Courtney did say that last night's Dynamite was only a 6 out of 10.
Oh, okay.
I don't know about that, but maybe.
Well, I got 3 points on my team, Team SPD, so I was a little happy with it.
Yeah, we did talk about the beginning of the hour, but let's go ahead and bring this back up here for just because the man of the hour is here.
As like you said, don't call it a comeback. 13 points behind about a month ago, and now with a 2-point lead going into Rampage this week. A lot of fun. I mean, unfortunately, no collision this week, but we're seeing some big matches on Rampage with a lot of our team members on that, and then obviously Dynamite is got some stack stuff so as well. But I saw you guys talking about the EVPs and the Young Bucks. Some of my favorite character work. It's like so subtle but so impactful, and I just want more and more of the over the top cheesiness. And I think last night's Young Bucks was just great stuff. Finding Tony Schiavone, almost giving him the EVP trigger. And to be honest, I think that was one of the best promos Darby's cut as well too. I mean, he cut deep as well as he was smooth, fired up, and it really set the tone for the match.
We were talking. Do you think it was a shoot, or do you think it was a work that they want us to think might be a shoot?
I mean, the best promos blur the lines, of what's true and not true. And I think the joy and the benefit or great thing about AEW is they allow that creative freedom. And I do think, even though a lot of the talent are very good at selling, I do think he was throwing some haymakers in there that not necessarily might have surprised the Young Bucks, but they played along great with it. They were playing along like Matthew and Nicholas were both just like agreeing and like smiling, and just like you can hear their little commentary. I liked how the camera crew caught a little bit of their commentary while Darby was talking as well. So I'm pumped for that match.
What did you think of the Cody chants?
Oh man, yeah, I just saw it was, I think, was it yesterday or today, the 2-year mark that since they've been gone.
Wow.
And I'm glad they're leaning into that. And the Young Bucks haven't been shy about talking about the importance and talking about Cody, and Cody giving some subtle hints to the Young Bucks and the Elite as well in WWE. So I'm glad the relationship is still there. It's just you never say never.
Never say. I have a question for everybody, we'll go counterclockwise. We'll start recording. Yeah. Do you think we will ever get to a point where that we could do a AEW WWE Forbidden Door at some point? Now that with it seems like Vince is pretty much gone. Courtney, do you think we could ever see that in the next 10 years or so?
It is quite possible. I mean, we got TKO over there with The Rock as the real head of the table, as board of directors. So I'm gonna say it's a possibility, and I would be here for it, because you could have so many dream matches within dream matches. Like you could put Darby Allin versus let's see who I want to see.
Seth Rollins.
Yeah, Seth Rollins.
That's what I was thinking of too.
So I mean, it's dream match versus dream match, and what a lot of the IWC forgets is a lot of these wrestlers are friends and play friends outside the ring. So let's just enjoy wrestling for what it is. Everybody's bringing something great content. We got WWE bringing the stories with the Bloodline and Cody. We got AEW doing Timeless Tony and Deanna Peraza, and then we got Jordan Grace in TNA knocking people out with it's just great wrestling all over.
Great time to be a wrestling fan.
Yes, exactly.
Britt, you feel the same way?
I don't think it would ever happen.
Okay.
Realistically, I think Tony, and I don't know if Triple H or Endeavor, would want that to happen. It would be really nice if they could. And when you start getting into it, I think both egos, like who you're going to have win,
Yeah.
I think,
right.
I think I think back in the 80s, I can't remember exactly when it was. I think the AWA, and I don't know if it was the NWA, they tried to do a big pay-per-view. I forget what it was called. But I think the promoters were butting heads constantly with it. I mean, it'd be nice if could figure something out, because I think it would be huge, and I think it'd blow. They could put it in a huge stadium and, make so much money, but I'd like it to happen, but I just don't see it.
Yeah, I'd love to see Kenny versus Roman Reigns. Like, to me, just because they both get compared to each other all the time, and this would be the match to just end it. Like, because it's, again, like to Courtney's point, it's not, the wrestlers are all friends. Ricky Stark showing up to support Cody, all of a sudden everybody's like, oh, he's betraying, blah, blah. No, it's his friend. People backstage at AEW, it's like, oh, what are they doing? Leaving WWE? They're all friends. SPD, do you think they will ever have that, or you think it's Coke and Pepsi?
Too many egos all around, like you said, Brent. And I think WWE will always act like, and honestly, they are obviously superior to other brands. As much as I'd want to see certain dream matches, there are a plethora of dream matches that we're already still waiting for in AEW and the current Forbidden Door. I feel like AEW is on the level in the short amount of time that they've been around as a New Japan, and obviously like TNA, Will, and Ring of Honor that they own. But I don't, with all that plethora of talent, I'd want to see, we still have our pick of the litter of matches. Mm-hmm. Competition is good. And, if it is WWE versus everybody, essentially, everyone's trying to get to the top. And if you join forces, I think, yeah, you hit it on the nail on the head, Brett. Like, too many high chiefs, too many heads of the tables, not willing to do the work. Within your company, a Rock or Roman Reigns will, put Cody or someone over, or hypothetically, hopefully. But I feel like it's like, who's going to stand tall? WWE has been in existence for decades and decades. I'm happy with the homegrown and what we got, and especially with the free agent signings that are recently coming or rumored to happen. We have plenty of stuff to be happy about in AEW.
I'm with you there, and I think we all agree it's not going to work for us, brother. Either way, it's not going to work for us,
and that's okay.
And that's totally fine. Yeah. I think that's tremendous. Well, before we go, let's talk about what we've got so far.
Woo!
Look at this card. I'm going to go back. I'm going to go to the EVP first, then Brent, then Courtney. What match going into Revolution are you most excited about, SPD?
As it's a toss-up. I mean, this card already, just this alone, I'd be happy with. And we know this is just, the tip of the iceberg, per se, of what Tony's going to book. But just all things considered, at first it was the tag match, because I'm a huge Young Bucks fan, and the story obviously with Sting's last match, but it's got to be the main event, or if it's the main event, the world title. But back to that, do you think the world title is the main event, or do you think Sting's is going to be the main event?
Ooh, good question.
Usually the world title is the main event. But that being said, all that aside, that's another topic of a discussion. The triple threat, because of what, honestly, not necessarily what Samoa Joe is doing, even though I think his swagger and his everything he brings to the championship belt has been top notch, A+. Mm-hmm. But more about what's going to happen with Swerve and Hangman. I'm very, very invested in that feud. I think both guys are just hitting home runs after home runs, and I don't know where it's going to go. Like, I don't think this is the end of that feud, and I'm happy with that. I hope that, Samoa Joe retains, Hangman and Swerve get, let's say, a last man standing match or an Iron Man match, a 60-minute Iron Man match, which would be fantastic. That'd be the first time we had that. Yeah, something like that. And that way you're taking Swerve out of the main event picture, the world title picture, for a little while, buying time for the ultimate payoff, which I've said all along. I think Swerve's going to get the belt at Wembley, and it'll be his time. You slow build that. We're in March. Mm-hmm. You keep him in this program with Hangman and maybe someone else for a little bit, and then you just build to him getting back into the number one contender spot. Because theoretically, if both guys lose, they drop in the standings or they drop in the rankings, kind of what Adam Copeland's been doing. So Swerve's going to have his work cut out for him getting back to the top, and then his number one contender one-on-one match will be at Wembley. That's how I'm excited for that.
Awesome.
Triple threat.
Awesome. Brent, how about you? What are you excited about, and what are your predictions?
Oh, geez. I'm excited about the Tony Storm match with Perazo. I think you keep the belt on Tony Storm. I kind of also think that the tag match is going to be the main event, just because it's Sting's last match, and I think Tony Khan has really treated Sting like the WWE should have.
Mm-hmm.
I think they totally dropped the ball with Sting, and I was so upset when that was happening. So and it being in North Carolina,
Wait, you're where? It's where? North Carolina.
So yeah, I think this is one of those exceptions. I think they're gonna put in. I think they're gonna have Sting lose. I think Darby and Sting gonna drop the titles too.
Wow,
interesting.
I think Sting's old school. I think he's gonna go out, putting someone else over. And what are they going to do are they going to, is Sting and Darby just going to relinquish the belts after, because if that's Sting's last match.
Yeah, we've talked about whether Darby getting a new partner or, relinquish the belts, start a tag team title tournament. But yeah, it makes sense with that. And Tony Khan and Sting, I think, has been booked perfectly these 3 years. And, for what he's been doing in the matches he's been in has been, beyond my wildest dreams and what I expected out of him.
Yeah, totally.
He deserves that main event spot one last time.
Woo!
That's right. And I know Mark that will be there.
Yep. And there are a bunch of there'll be some marks way up in the nosebleed sections too. That's all we can afford. How about you, Courtney? What did you what are you looking forward to on Revolution, and what are your thoughts?
I'm really looking forward to Sting's last match because I've been a Stinger fan for all my life. Okay, so I've been following him from when he was in WCW, and Surfer Sting was awesome, but we got Crow Sting now, so why not? If it's his last match, let the man go out on top. Main event the Revolution. You know what I mean? So I hope TK's paying attention. Please let it happen.
Does Sting come out with half his face painted Crow and half Surfer Sting?
Hey,
Ooh,
I doubt it.
You guys see that shirt they have?
Yeah, that's what I was
Shirt is
thinking.
fantastic.
Right?
Yeah, so good.
There's a shirt for those that don't know, the shirt where it's half Surfer Sting and then Mel Coleman's got one where it's like Bark at the Moon, where it's all three versions of Sting. It's Surfer Sting, I think it's Red NWO Sting, and then the current Sting we have, and it's like got a moon and all that kind of stuff. It's
cool.
Pretty awesome. All right, well, before we wrap up, real quick,
what about you, Mind Runner? What are you looking forward to?
I'm looking forward to the whole dang card. I'm really looking at it. I'm kind of with you guys. I'm really looking forward to how the triple threat goes. I think Samoa Joe is going to retain. We talked about that earlier. I also think that the Bucks are going to win. I think you're right about Sting being old school and going out on his back, putting everybody over, and that's kind of the whole trend. I think she hasn't been here long enough, but I think there's a case for Deonna Purrazzo winning the title.
I agree.
Here's the thing: Tony Storm doesn't need the title to be over, to be popular, to be her. In fact, she's almost losing the title and making her lose her mind even more. Plus the whole Mariah May, it's all about Mariah, it's all about Eve, that whole gimmick they're doing with that would really perpetuate this venomous jealousy. And you could even put Mariah May on a path towards getting the title and and have Toni Storm almost so jealous that she's getting a push now that she tries to upend it. Plus, we also do have a certain La Mira that show up and might be the next contender for that title. And Deonna Purrazzo versus Thunder Rosa would be quite a tremendous match. So just going back through, start with Courtney, Brent, and then we'll finish with SPD and myself. Your MVP of the week, who would you pick for AEW? Courtney, off the top of your head.
I'm going to go with the AEW champion, Samoa Joe.
Samoa Joe, very good. Brent?
I'm going to go with Daniel Garcia.
Daniel Garcia. All right. I'm actually going to go with Hangman.
Okay.
Because he is playing this desperado character. He's enhanced. I mean, all three of the people in contention for that title are great, but Hangman's desperado with the Magnum TA and the thing, it's been tremendous, and I think he's playing that up. SPD.
I think Jon Moxley. I just love what's in store, how the FTR feud started and now how it's continuing. And then next week, right away, we're going to get the tag match. I thought it was going to be a pay-per-view match, but no, it's going to be on Dynamite.
We speculated earlier that it's going to be a regular tag match Dynamite, but could we be setting up Moxley Claudio versus Dax and Cash double dog collar?
Oh gosh. Do you think they even I mean, if anyone's down for that, I feel like Moxley is. Claudio, we are starting to see a little bit more brutal side to him, which has been fun. But man, but when they went face to face, they almost dwarfed FTR. It felt like.
Yeah.
I know FTR is not a big group as it is, but when they went face to face for the first time, I was like, wow, it really showed how much bigger those guys are.
The bigger they are, the harder they fall.
That's right, man. That's right.
Well, awesome. This has been a fun hang. Thank you all for hanging out with us at Dynamite Download. We will be back next Thursday, same time, same channel. But not only hit the like button and also make a comment down below your thoughts. What are you excited about for Revolution? What did you think about Dynamite this past week? But also hit that notification button, because I heard a rumor that Friday night Fights and Flights is coming back, as well as we're going to be talking to more Mission Pro Wrestling talent, the aftermath from Sleepless in San Antonio. Thunder Rosa turning heel on Izzy. Wasn't because of the tacos. We're going to find out. We've got some awesome Mission Pro talent coming in. They're going to chat with us. And we're going to be possibly chatting with Thunder Rosa as well and finding out just what is going on in her cabeza. But for SBD, Brent, Courtney, I am Mind Runner, and we will see you next week.